頼む。戻れ
Whilst not the greatest piece of voice acting ever, I had to give one for the big twist I thought happened at the end of the last episode as he's caught, but finds his way back in time. Bless his heart, he's so happy to have been able to go back in time. Also, she said the thing. I've been away for a while dealing with a bad case of sciatica, so I must admit it feels good to be back and seeing the end of the anime through. So yeah, his narration is still a big plus for me. We're never told how he knows this to be the case, but all the same, it's a big reveal. I can't help winning how damn wholesome I find it that he keeps tearing up around his mother. He really does love and miss her in the present, bless him. I liked this. To me, it felt like he was making up for being a bit of a jerk to her final question she asked him in episode 1 before dying. At the time, he said he didn't know because he was angry. Now here as a kid, he makes up for it by telling her the actual answer. It's a small thing, but I like it, as I said.
Satoru, ちょっと教室出て話さない？本のことなら気にしなくていいよ。そんな本はないんだ。Satoru, お前は誰?
For context, the day prior, he asked him if he had read the book he lent him, but in reality, he never did lend him a book. He was cleverly testing him, as is now revealed. He's so smart!
俺にはまるで、こうやるんだっていう意志がサトルに入り込んで、俺を叱ったように思えたんだ。
Such a great scene for him as a character because it goes beyond the I'm smart and I figured something out and instead is about him feeling so bad that he did nothing after noting her bruises. Yet here's his normally distant friend suddenly going all out to help their classmate. It shocked him and made him regret his prior inaction.
ケンヤ、ヒナズキは殺される。虐待の現場を見たんだ。
Fun fact, this was a nice twist for me because I forgot he told him about it since it's been a few years since I last watched it. Yay for a bad brain!
お前はもうなってる。協力させてよ。俺もなりたいからさ。
Him saying he's already a superhero is so damn sweet of him. For context, just prior he said he's a superhero, or rather, he wants to be.
3月1日は、ひなずきを公園で一人にさせなければ大丈夫。問題は3月2日、バースデーパーティーの日だ。
Even just this visual with his narration is clever, I think, because he knows how to get through March 1st. He's done that. But then March 2nd is the issue, and for that we get the red visual.
最近、僕らのグループと一緒に遊んでるから。
そうだったのか。
As he's giving him an alibi, which will come into effect soon, it's worth pointing out how they make him again look guilty to throw us off the track for a moment. It's very clever.
やったー！かよちゃん、それって最高の結果っしょ！
ゆうきさんの口から俺の前で初めて方言が出た。
Building on the last win, that moment gets so damn tense, and then we find out why. He's a good guy. A very good, often guilty-looking guy.
とどめだ。
なんだ。おい、誰だ。
これで今晩一晩は警察がアリバイを証明してくれる。
And there is the alibi gifted to them I mentioned before. A very clever plan by our boy.
お前さえいなくなれば。
冷静になれよ。
I actually remembered this moment oddly enough, but not that he decided to help him earlier, as I mentioned, but yeah, it's a badass moment showing how far he's willing to go.
俺は裁かれたって構わない。
どんな結末だろうと、ひなずきが死ぬよりはいい。
Again, this for me just really speaks to his mentality of wanting to do everything he can to ensure that this time around she stays alive no matter what.
さ、今からお前のこと 誘拐するけどいい？
You can just tell that this stirred many emotions in her as soon as he said it, likely bringing to mind her short story she once wrote, a little adventure after one of her favourite days ever.
よう、来たか、二人とも。うん、本当に大丈夫？
For some reason, I always get a lot of joy from this whole scene, although there's one scary moment we'll discuss soon, but it's largely a very wholesome collection of moments where she's finally safe.
すげえ。すごい。かなり上出来な隠れ家だ。俺もここに住みたいくらいだよ。
Nothing could better explain my prior win than this very scene, especially with that music too.
ありがとう、サトル、ケンヤ君。
For someone usually so guarded, you know this meant so much to her, even though no one directly addresses why they're even doing it. It's like an unspoken understanding.
ひなずきの母ちゃんから電話来た？いや、来ないよ。
A nice way of showing how little her mother cares, which we know of course, but yeah, it's further evidence.
腹へんない？
Another prime example of said wholesomeness I mentioned.
夏にさ、ケンヤたちとキャンプの計画立ててるんだ。カヤも一緒に行こうよ。
いけるかな？
行けるさ。
It's so simple on the surface, and yet such a beautiful moment when you know it's giving her hope for the future. Such wholesome!
カヤもごめんな。こんなとこ閉じ込めて。
ううん。こんなに楽しいのは初めて。
So very much wholesome though.
私が言い出しっぺで、みんなが協力してくれたってことなら、誰もお咎めないっしょ。はい、上がり。本当だ。
盲点だった。
Such a great moment, and thus fitting for this video, as she shows herself to be very clever, and it works extra because she's keeping her new friends out of trouble, showing how much she cares for them.
サトルかな。
It's such a great ending to the episode, even when I know how it went down. Let's go!
誰？
And if the end of the last episode got a win, this one needs it even more so. Thank God she was so brave and kept quiet back there.
こんな早い時間に何やってんの？
何って見ればわかるっしょ。あんた今日も早く投稿するんだべさ。
As if you needed any further proof that she's basically Anime's best mom, here's another scene of her being awesomely thoughtful.
してない。
ならよし。
For context, she asked what he's doing up so early. He said it's a secret. She said, it's not anything bad, is it? And that was his reply. I love how much she trusts him. That's all she needed to hear and ask.
こんな早くに出たらお昼までお腹持たないべさ。
うん。ありがとうお母さん。俺は食べてきたからいいんだ。
なんかすごい。
To me, his mother knew something like this was happening and so cooked extra food for him to give to her. The whole thing makes me kinda emotional, like her reaction to the food. More on that later. Oh, I totally forgot that, but I'm keeping the prior win regardless. She really is the greatest.
昨日児相に連絡をした。今日来てくれるそうだ。俺も一緒にカヨの家に行ってみる。
These are the great moments that totally throw you off the scent if you're suspecting him early on. Why would he take steps to get law enforcement involved if it's him? It can't be him. You'd be wrong, baby.
失礼します。
先生。
大丈夫です。私が責任を取りますから。
I'm gonna drop that as a follow-up, because again, you'd be like, he's going to such great lengths to ensure she's safe. It's well done.
私は大丈夫。みんなのこと考えたら気持ちが温かくなるから。
It's like she could read in their faces the mixture of concern for her, but also that they will miss her once she's gone into child protective custody, should their plan work out.
誕生日プレゼント。はい。
It's so wholesome it physically hurts.
プレゼント明日渡すね。約束。
Also, though, on top of being wholesome, it's because she never got to this stage in the past. So it means even more to him that he was able to give her the time to complete her present and, more importantly, live.
俺はこの瞬間をずっと待ってた気がする。
Yeah, go on. One more, that gets me every time when he tears up.
そうだ、サトル。今夜ここに泊まって。
That makes me laugh every time, without fail also. The reveal of what the teacher left in there the night before, always an amazingly shocking moment.
途中で投げ出さなかったらこうなった。
でかした、あんたたち。
Gets me every time that she would flinch expecting the worst. Poor girl.
ぼちぼち帰ってくる頃だと思ったけどさ、何人来るかわかんないからカレーにしたのさ。
やっぱバレバレだったのか。
Such a sweetheart that she was putting it all together all this time, even to the point of cooking extra food for his guests she figured he'd bring back home.
これありがとう。ごちそうさまでした。
I can't help it. These interactions just make my eyes go. The worst one is coming the following morning.
八代先生、サトルとカヨちゃんがうちに戻ってきました。
そうですか、それはよかった。そうだと思っていましたよ。夜分にすみません。御事正教院の八代学と申します。カヨちゃんのことでお話が。
I'm gonna keep on giving them wins when they move the suspect needle away from him via the writing of the mangaka. After all, that is the crux of a mystery story like this one.
お客さん、かゆいところありませんか？ここですか？それとも、こちょこちょこちょこちょこちょこちょ。
I love this because it's how her life really should have been all along, with a truly loving and caring mother. Instead, what she got was a cold, disconnected, painful, and everything else experience.
なんか楽しそうだったね。
うん。あったかかった。
Don't care, take another. It'd be unfair to tie this with the last win, I think. Especially since this entire segment is one of the best parts of the whole thing for me, emotionally speaking.
あれ？そのパジャマ。
うん、買っといた。
妖怪め。
シーツ洗っておいたから、これ使って。
She really is so clever. I'm glad this is a thing that runs through the whole story.
どうしたの？
いつもは消えてるから。
そっか。じゃあ消そうか？
うん、つけたままでいい。
Another thing she'd love to have. Something that gives her comfort, and yet she doesn't have at home.
あたし邪魔だべか。
うん。
そんなことない。
声に出てた。
That was good. I totally forgot that happens.
バカなの。
A perfect end to another day for her, no doubt, and with that music, I felt like I had to show it to fade out the day in such a peaceful way.
まだ5、6人分はあったんじゃ。
またみんな呼べばいいべさ。
The difference between this home with someone who loves and cares for you and what she had back there. it's getting Max here. Really makes me cry every time. This was the moment I mentioned before. It's so sad and so beautiful and just one of the best moments of the entire anime.
かよ、何日もどこをつけ歩いてんだ。こんな。あんたたち。
You best believe that ending also easily scored one. In my opinion, anything the mother gets in this wasn't bad enough. I can't recall exactly, but it's not enough. But still, my god, what a shocking moment, and she's nearly caused serious harm there.
うるせえ！てめえが娘を物置に閉じ込めたり、3日いなくなっても放っておくような親だからだ。
I love it when he lays down the law as well, especially since he's been keeping it inside largely till times like this.
日名月明美さんですね。石狩振興局児童相談課のものです。
The perfect plan coming through here, and what makes it even better is that no matter what they did, she was going to react with violence like this, so it's not as though she was set up.
明美や。お母さん。
Even after seeing this like 4 times now, this moment is the best one that makes you think he cannot be the killer. Going out of his way to bring her here? So well done, seriously.
寂しかったべ。辛かったべ。私が助けてやるべきだったのに。
Although I reject her reasoning, meaning the mother's, I'm glad to give a win for the backstory. It excuses a grand total of naff all of it, but it's good to know regardless. Can't show the worst of it, but in case you forgot, she herself was abused by the man she was with. At some point she started doing it to her own daughter. But yeah, she's scum.
私は自分が生きるこの世界の中で子供が一番大事だ。あんたにもきっとそんな時があったっしょ。
I'm not winning naff all to do with her mother, but his mother, she absolutely gets one for that comment.
悲しいこともない島に行ってみたい。
To be honest, a sad moment when she leaves, but he says goodbye with a smile and his new mitts, and we see a lovely note from Kaio to his mother. That really nice and smooth looking zooming out shot?
今俺がやるべきなのは2人を一人ぼっちにさせないこと。カヨの時と同じだ。
How the story here begins to proceed, from Kaio being safely away from danger, and now he shifts his focus to his good friend and the other girl from the other school who now needs protecting. The way this is laid out always reminded me of Death Note, another anime I just adore. In fact, this one often seems inspired by numerous great other anime.
なんかはみ出てるよ。
サトル、そこは触っちゃ。
ごめんなさい。
This is good for a couple reasons. Firstly, it makes sense when you know he's the killer. I mean, keeping candy in his car? But it also starts to show how weird he is, but given plausible reasons for it. Such as he's single, but he's waiting for the perfect time. His advice is to make someone lower their guard in a conversation, but he's helping the lad. As I keep saying, it's clever.
私にも一個ちょうだい。
はい。
And just like that, the I think he's a killer vibe begins to calm, even though all the indicators are there.
ケンヤ、この足跡どう思う？大人が一人一往復。
Whilst I don't think he ever outright tells him he's from the future, I do think he shares a little more in order to be able to get him on side to investigate more now, and that's a cool moment.
僕にできること何でもするから遠慮なく言ってね。
もちろん。
Another nice part I forgot is this right here, that he too joins the cause. Even better is that by the end, literally, I think anyway, the whole friend group is working together, but with varying degrees of knowledge of the truth.
サトルは俺のことを信じて話してくれた。だから俺もサトルのことを信じたいんだ。
If you ever find a group of friends like this, never let them go. He's such a legend.
誰も一人ぼっちにはしない。俺なら助けられるはずだ。
Not running on the spot for quite a while.
アジト子供っぽい。
子供っぽいとか言うなよ。
Take one here, if only because we never really get to see him like this. Normally always so calm and cool.
アジトは男のロマンだ。
And this is where I recalled him getting more involved in their plans in a roundabout way, since they obviously failed to get close enough to her to protect her. But luckily he succeeds in their place.
レベル上げが嫌なんだよな。
それが楽しいのに。ねえサトルくん、そろそろ中西さんが公園に来る時間だよ。
I'm with him. I dislike grinding, but the win here is for seeing their secret hideout and more importantly, the crew together like this hanging out. It really puts me at ease.
アジト暇だから来てみたわ。
今日もあやちゃんのとこ？
まあな、後で一緒にアジトに行くわ。
And luckily his words from yesterday are what then causes her to come to the hideout, which is what I meant from 2 wins back. Let's continue to go.
一人ぼっちの時間をなくすってすごくいいことだと思う。僕の家、両親共働きで帰ってもいつも一人だったからよくわかるんだ。
Honestly though, what a lovely thing to come out and say.
最近柳原さんが一人なの知ってた？
美里が？
あの給食費のことがあってからみんなから浮いちゃってるみたい。
Interestingly, he ends up helping with the case here with this comment and observation, albeit for different reasons than usual, as it's built upon his comment from the last win.
また明日。したっけ？じゃあね。したっけ？
So much extra animation they didn't need to do, and of course, it's such a sweet scene too. I think I mentioned in the first half how I love it when they say goodbye.
トイレか。いくらなんでも遅いな。
ちょっと一服な。
ちょっと美里に用があって。
美里？
ユウキさんちの車？
This has to score max, because it's by far the biggest curveball to totally throw you off base if you think the teacher is the killer. It's brilliantly constructed, I think.
飴取ろうか。
だってこれ僕の車じゃないんだ。
There's a ton of talking before this, nothing to win really, but it does set up this moment as he goes a bit weird in his side of the conversation, revealing that it isn't even his car. And that right there, the big reveal, is enough to get a win on its own, with the slow realization from our boy and that creepy as all hell smile from him.
中西綾を尾行していた君を見たあの日まで全く気がつかなかったよ。君たちを車で送った日は計画を実行に移す日だったんだ。
Tying the ride from him, with him officially changing his targets from the girls he couldn't get at for one reason or another, now to him is a very clever part of the plot.
時間を見計らって美里に下剤の入ったドリンクを飲ませ、白鳥の弁当を注文しておいた。
How the reveal also doesn't come with any plot holes either. Everything makes sense when you consider that he's just a very smart, at this point, wannabe killer in the making. It's a small thing, but I noticed how he spends the whole trip basically leaning forwards against the seatbelt. To my mind, it's like the mangaka thought it'd be more natural in the situation than calmly sitting back. I always felt so damn sorry for, first of all, his mother, most importantly, but also his friends who have no idea what he's going through right here.
ヤシロ！俺はお前の未来を知ってるぞ！
やばい。
And as weird as it sounds, this very statement continued to plague him for the next, I can't recall, 15 to 18 years into the present. But yeah, more on that soon.
アイリー。
It's sad when he thinks he is dying, watching all of these connections coming apart like this.
しかし彼は死ぬことはなかった。僕はそいつにスパイスと名付けて観察することにした。
それが君だよ、サトル。
I'll avoid showing how much of a sick fuck he is and simply win the connection between the hamster in his own past and Satoru in his present, and the link between them in his equally sick mind. I think I mentioned this a while back, but her just being the greatest mother here, working hard to provide whilst taking care of literally everything else, including her son.
おはよう、サトル。
Oh man, that totally broke me, and the best part is I forgot he woke up at home like that. And she said good morning like always. Wow.
15年もの間、毎日4時間かけてお母さんは僕の体をケアし続けてくれたそうだ。
Talk about a love and dedication to her son. She believed every single day that one day he would wake up, and she'd have helped him massively to get back on his feet as soon as possible. She is truly amazing.
心拍計、喪失感、仲裁。全部読める。一体いつ覚えたんだ？
A smart way of laying the groundwork for him figuring out what happened to him in the past by doing this simple thing, where he knows the year sounds familiar, and he knows all these big words.
久しぶり、サトル。
サトルくん、元気そうだね。
I must love this anime so much. Even just seeing them again caused a little tear to appear in my eye. What a wonderful moment, seeing Kaio now in the present. He tears up and doesn't even know why right now, but inside is obviously so happy that she's alive and well. I was always sad she got with one of his mates, but at least he does get a happy ending.
なんだかサトルを置き去りにするみたいで。
Whilst it's not true, and certainly not something he would want from his friends, I thought it was a lovely sentiment from someone, to feel guilty for living their life whilst he's in a coma. A legit beautiful piece of art someone did for this episode.
今日からリハビリの量を倍にしてください。早く外を歩きたいんです。
I believe, skipping ahead to the end a little here, that once he touched the baby's hand before, it likely triggered his memories, and so now he wants to get back into shape to carry out his end plan. It's so good! Good on the animators to really show how much he's struggling to do this.
君が小学校に上がる前に何度か会ったことがあるんだが。
Although it's a bad example given we've already seen him in the past and present, I did want to say, in regards to the school friends, they were all aged very well. So much extra animation done!
勇気の出し方、教えようか。大切な人の笑顔を思い浮かべるんだ。もちろん君も笑顔でね。
Such a lovely lad that even with everything he's been through, he still has time to try and make her feel better about needing to have surgery soon when she's scared.
病院内で一般人の盗撮、名誉毀損、住居侵入。
The one good thing he does in the entire anime. For clarity, they were going to run a story about Satoru being into little girls, all because he was talking to her from the prior win.
こんなエレベーターがあるなんて。ちょっとした冒険じゃないか。
After some brief moments of peace and rest, we now come steamrolling into the finale as the ending starts to really ramp up starting here.
ヤシロ、俺の記憶は戻っているぞ。
Oh, I thought he revealed this a little later. I'm glad my memories have faded a little. It's like seeing some bits for the first time again. It's a shame we don't see these guys again, but it's nice of the mangaka to give us a look into how they're doing. It's also realistic, I guess, that not everyone lives right nearby.
でもさ、サトルの入院費用の足しになればって募金活動を言い出したの、ミサトだったんだぜ。
Another deep, forgotten memory that she went to bat for him when he was in the hospital in spite of their earlier differences. Seemingly, she pulled through and became a better person due to him.
でも、もしサトルがまた一人で戦おうとしているのなら、俺たちも連れて行ってほしい。
Now my earlier win about this group of friends is made even more profound. One a lawyer, one a doctor, yet both, 15 years on, still want to help him see things through to the finish line.
サトルは俺たちのヒーローだった。サトルに追いつきたくて、サトルと一緒に戦いたくて、今の俺らがある。
Probably one of the most kind, loyal, wonderful things they could have said to him here. To know the impact he had on their lives is amazing to me.
アイリ。
Remembering her, but also that smooth as butter animation there.
僕には信じ合える仲間がいたんだ。
What a great piece of animation to cement them working together as a team again. I love it!
15年前、君は僕の計画をことごとく阻止してみせた。
How the animators, I'm guessing, going off of the manga, give you just a little glimpse into what their plan might be.
それはもはや子供離れしたとか言ったレベルを超えた。
Getting to see this for the first time from his perspective, it really drives home how insanely evil he is.
なぜ俺の思考を先を見てきた？未来を知っているとはどういう意味だ？
Feels like a follow-up is in order for when I mentioned before how he basically obsessed over what he yelled out from the sinking car 15 years ago.
15年前の事件はもう時効だ。だから時効になっていない事件のことを聞き出そうと思ったんだ。
Leaky brain resulted in the anime scoring a shocked win here as the phone ruse is found out. Now I'm kinda torn a little bit because I can't recall the end exactly. This is great, let's go!
実は僕、記憶が。
戻ってるんだべ。知ってる。かよちゃんが来た時だべ。
妖怪め。
So happy that they got to do this dance one more time before the end. She really was the friggin' best.
喋り出してあんたが声変わりしてて、ああ成長してるって初めて感じて嬉しかったよ。もう大人なんだね。
Including this as just one of the many, many times where she's either done something or said something beautiful in this.
先生は僕に開いた穴を埋めてくれた。
It's a shame to hear that this is how he truly felt back then, because the reveal must have hurt even more due to that.
僕もサトルが目覚めるのを15年間待ち続けた。
They've got this weird relationship due to the prior win and this one. He's an evil bastard, obviously, but it goes beyond him being ruthless and thoughtless as to how he kills.
未来で殺された？サトル、お前は一体。
I love it when a villain is written as not being all-knowing, just like he is right here.
僕は先生の生きがいだった。僕は先生の希望だった。僕は先生の心の穴を埋めた。
Truly an excellent part of the final episode and what drives the plot to the final moments too. Thank you! Thank you to my brain! I totally forgot this! I thought he pushed him to the edge, but no! It's infinitely better because he proved that he does need him! Plus that gorgeous sweeping shot was great too. Thanks for this! It's so good! Further evidence of my earlier win about their relationship. He cared for him in some really weird way. Even here, where he could so easily have ended his life. But he didn't. He couldn't.
この世界で本当の先生を知ってるのは僕だけだよ。
そうだ。
What an ending being crafted here. Like, truly, I got so much love in my heart for the mangaka to not only have been able to draw all this, but also craft such an amazing story.
僕はもう。
And one more for making everyone think he legit won in the end. The final big twist earns a huge max wins from me, as he was about to end his own life, but is stopped when he can see he was played and he lost the game. Hell yeah! Plus again, that zooming out shot looking so crisp. In that moment, I think he was legit happy that Satoru was alive. Maybe even laughing at how he really can't kill him. But it makes it so much more unique than him cursing that he lost or whatever. A nice final moment there as he notes his own web and its removal. Although I'm not 100% sure on the meaning, I know he's lost and the future changed for him.
殺人未遂の容疑で緊急逮捕だ。
久美ちゃんは大丈夫？
ああ。
Finding out that he was arrested and also that the young sick girl was saved as well.
僕だけがいなくなった街で友達が僕のために人生の貴重な時間を割いてくれた。
Bro, how unique is that to link it to her story as a child, and for him it really does mean something because he lost 15 years of his life there.
それこそが僕の宝物だ。
A moment so lovely looking as everyone of importance to the case, which excuses his mother, in the past is together in one scene that I made it the thumbnail.
背のこのズバッと踏み込む感じ好きなんですよね。
じゃあこんな感じで進めます。
Felt like him always saying about digging deep, and then it being reflected here in his now successful work was worth a win.
ああ、そうだ。アニメ化決定おめでとうございます。
Probably my final forgotten memory. He got an anime! Made me really smile seeing these two. Firstly, I love the song, but the win is for skipping the ED for this different end. And then the really big smile was seeing these two from his childhood. That he found love in the end and had a family brings joy to my heart. Seeing basically everyone together again like this. Man, it brought me the tears. The best part is, you guessed it, I forgot it happens. Obviously we know who this moment reminds him of, as we see the former boss in the original timeline is now the one out there dropping off pizza.
その勇気を感じた人たちが少しずつ仲間になってくれた。
How the story he wrote as a kid came true in the end, because it really was the case that he saw success in the end because of the help from his friends who he gave courage to. Oh, that's a damn close contender for the thumbnail. I guess I'll have to see how both images look and then pick one, but yeah, regardless, that gets one. It's like fate giving him one final gift for all of his courage and hard work over the years in this moment.
一緒に雪宿りしてもいいですか?
That reveal, his reaction, that's so utterly perfect, man. Wow.
僕は信じてた。
A perfect ending to a perfect anime for me, scoring one final win. I hope you all enjoyed, and now back to One Piece with me. Zadakai, Electrix, Lucas Fortier, that one weird guy, Athul Krishna, Cody Tiffany, Kalimato 3000, Kuro Pasaki, Capitain Otaku, Eshu, Charlotte S, Vrakleth, Johannes, GoView 9594, Gerlag, Eric Hitchin, Antmaccin, Nathan, Trails reference detected, Sir Sleepyhead, Adarryl Harper, Christina Hines, Marcel29, Burn Wolfdog, Sean Graves, Kidbread, Imane, Dalaman, Jin Mori, Atrachius, Guru Thor, Joe, Kyle Schwarz, Emerald, Lee Maths, JHL10, Aussie Gaming 94, Juice, William Peterson, Mary, Vortex Aim, Chrono, The Swedish Muggle, Marcellus the Roman, Kieran Shepherd, Lily, Nexus 47, AdmiralNugget, Michael Tomlin, Cody Tiffany, Jameson Johnson, Awaki, Timothy Wilcox, Curty Dan, Tomo Sandy, Henrik Jessen, Rolltide West, Detective Games, Arnasius Svaltos, David Ferrix, Olive Wolf, Furious Mo, Sam Birchmore, Marlon Endris, Salt Lover, Jokerims, Alexei Palvainen, Dravona, Rimuru, Gamer Ludwig, Mushwin, Shadow Cleanser, Don, Adam Maths, Robert Jackson, Tsukomi Aurorum, Thembo, Starkip, Lars Sorensen Music, Anthony, Miran Adran, Cody Niemeyer, and Iced Milk, Cheese, Vinicius Leonel, Snowy, Austin Manning, Sarcastic Truth, Hit of the Wicked, Owen Halloran, Extinct Hero, Alexander Schwartz, Dante Sol, Flaming Yan, Rodies, Display 7, Cameron Hofstra, Soviet Spud, Revenge Isn't Here, Gaster 1294, Jason Jepson, ESO, Cameron, Motivirum, Knuckle Duster, Utar A. Bodanisi, Matthew Barr, Ruby Rose, Ghost Rider 176, Commander Cyrus, Cloud Garden, Woof, Luis Benito, Mini Masher, Garrett Vermeesh, Ryan DeVries, AJokerXD, Laxor, TRS, Liam Gagati, Kai158, Mr. Firecool, Wacky Normal, Zions 44, Lionel Schultz, Kevin Elston, I Am Here, Nozomi, Marvin, The Nana Moment, Satai Kuyorai, Bappo, Christopher Willis, Laxus, Michael Lewis, SK Baby, Cecilia, Nick Wyndham, Guru, Cedric, Kevin 102, Sean, Dragonstorm 35, Kelnog, Marquez, Gabe, Q-Flash, Flash, 420 Blazing Kin 425, Brainless Ben, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Andy Vargas, Yor Edvinson, Kebon, Kyle Jones, Peter Milligan, John, Amadillo, Nick Pell, Lorena Frazier, Warkeeper, Jason Davies, Blakely Winter, Matthew Blanset, Oscar I. Lopez, Yoffa6263, Storm 970, Isel Caldera, Kevin Nelter, Ali 50, Birdwithoutaword, 1928, Headshot Hunter, Brandon Creyer,